Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker. Welcome to the show, y'all. We're back with the part 2 with my conversation with Jay. And before we left on the last episode, we were talking about, he was sharing how he had become that person that nobody wanted to be around. And, his reputation was locked in. And he started to see those types of things, right? And I want to talk about that a little bit, Jay, if you don't mind, because a lot of kids out there today are doing a lot of things that they think are cool now. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about that a little bit. Share with me, you know what I'm saying, in the audience, what it was like for you to come to that realization, that this is not who you want to be. Go ahead.
Well, when I started realizing about the people that didn't want me around and off of my reputation and what I had to offer at the time, it was hard. It was hard because I was just learning how to develop to love people. And I was experiencing love. So to find the rejection of what I was trying to get, but I didn't really know how to give it at the time, but I was experiencing it and I didn't know how to deliver what I was wanting.
Who, like, these people, are these people that you grew up with and knew?
It was some females. Mm-hmm. It was some females, and like I said,
these are not the people. I guess what I'm trying to find out is that these are not the people that were sending you out on licks and all this and that. This was like a new group of people.
Basically, it was my family.
Okay.
It was the family that I missed all these years growing up in the Youth Development Center. Mm-hmm. It was the family that really didn't know how to be my family at the time, but they've done become much older, and they was trying to reach out in a way that was also new to us. So the family was trying to be a family all of a sudden.
Before they done taught you to be this monster.
Right.
Got it. Go ahead.
Right.
Okay,
So
I just wanted to get that straight.
And to me, I still was tiptoeing around these devilish ways, and I felt like, all right, now I still gotta keep this reputation going, because me being 5'4", I kind of like this image that I have created to where a lot of people fear me, and I was intoxicated by that acknowledgement that I was getting, and it was blinding me to the fact that these people don't fear me. Yeah, they fear me, but they despise me. I disgust them. They hate me. And before it was too late before I even had a chance to get a hold of this thing. So this went on for years and years of people, speaking bad on me, because now that's all I hear about my name.
Yeah.
That's all I hear about my name. They don't know that I was actually a good dude.
Good dude.
They didn't see none of my highlights, but at this time, Joe, it wasn't many highlights to even brag about.
Yeah.
But to me, they was, though, because I had to teach myself how to read and write while I was locked up. To me, I had to really dig deep within inside this broken kid and teach myself how to walk, talk, and act amongst people, and try to even go get a job and be productive in the community. I was in and out of the system so much. I was playing these different roles of the criminal, the inmate, now the baby daddy, the father, and which I never got a chance to master the father thing, Joe.
Did you feel abandoned by the people that had taught you to be a criminal, that now that they changed and now you left alone still living that life?
Oh, it was definitely abandonment. It was abandonment. I felt that early on in life, and I believe that's what kind of catapulted my anger and my desire to even be worse than what was taught to me.
Right.
So I capitalized on that abandonment and was like, oh, okay, so if this is what we're gonna do, well,
I'm going
all in, Yeah. And it just becomes so exhausting doing all these little times in jail. Some of them was a 4-year sentence, some of them was a 2-year sentence. I done some time down there in Florida did a little prison stint down there in Florida. Went down there on vacation, messed around and got jammed up, and it becomes so stressful of trying to play catch up. Every time I would get out, you know, all these years done, you know, separated everybody. So now I got nieces and nephews and kids that I don't even know.
Yeah.
And guess what? All they get to know is the guy they've been told about all these years.
The bad guy.
The bad guy. Mm-hmm. And here I am trying to convert back into some normal living.
You want to do right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'm speaking on, you know, I'm in my late 20s at this time, you know, trying to get a grip on things. And it's, you know, I was pretty far gone at this time. Now the drugs have played a major role. They got me so tight, Joe, that you know, nothing mattered.
Yeah.
And that's where I was at with that. So you bring the abandonment, the violence, the anger, the want to be the guy that's seem to have control of things, but is completely out of control. You know, completely have no sense of good morals or standing in society's living. So I started to hate myself.
Yeah.
And that's when things got really, really real about depression and stuff. And I would go out sometimes, Joe, and catch a charge just to go to jail. There was times that some would say there's a sense of institutional lies that I was dealing with, and I believe it. You know, I truly believe it because I was an excellent prisoner. I've been an excellent prisoner. I've been an excellent inmate.
You know how to do that.
I know how to do that.
Yeah.
You know, I know how to maneuver through this, and so it is sad. Succeeding in prison to me was easy, and it was my comfort zone.
Yeah.
The structure was there.
Yeah.
You know, the violence was there. Everything that I thrived on as a child growing up was there. And I felt at home.
So what triggered you wanting to just go out and commit a crime just to come back? What was happening in your life at that time?
Failure. Bunches of it. Bunches of failure, Joe. I was experiencing loneliness, heartbreak, and just having to deal with me. Dealing with me on a regular basis, Joe, it become overwhelming.
Yeah.
Every day I was putting on this different show of, all right, am I the guy that's getting off drugs, going to work, trying to be a good member of society? Am I that guy? Or am I just a junkie again? Who am I this day? What is going on in my life? And where am I at? At this time, I've developed skill sets. I knew how to work. I knew about a hammer and a nail. I wasn't completely out of the loop of a functional person.
Yeah.
You know, but I was broke in so many different ways. So, and back to the thing of hating oneself, I couldn't stand myself. I couldn't stand it that I've wasted all these years.
What was that like? I mean, were you actually aware that you hated yourself, or was it just the way?
It was. I made reservations to hate myself. Like I had these things mapped out, you know, because I could sense the failure. I was too weak to stop using drugs. I was too weak to stop going out robbing. I was too weak to say no, I don't want to go rob nobody. I was too weak to even address these issues because I still was holding on to that image
so
of
that's
Mr.
what you mean about making appointments for failure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I mean. And you know, I had appointments for them because I knew some of the homeboys I was still kicking around, I know they're going to approach with this ignorant idea of this, and this. And I knew it was possibly going to send me to jail.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to possibly divide me and this group of people, and maybe in this area of my life, or this area of my life, or multiple, however this turned out. And I still pursued it. And it was just so much failure, so much brokenness, and the disappointment.
Not to cut you off, because I want you to pick back up on that, the disappointment, but I want you to, could you explain to the audience, what was it that made you not feel like you could say no? Because a lot of kids are going through that today. They get caught up in these peer pressure situations and get the ask to do this and that, hold this gun or hold this bag for me, do this and that. And they want to say no. What was it that if you know, that prevented you from being able to say no?
I absolutely know the answer to that, Joe. It's the thought of letting the failure down. I had become so prone to failing. I thought that's what I was designed for, was to be this supreme jackass. This guy that, if you want something done, go see Lil J. Mm-hmm. He'll go get it. He'll do it. He'll go in there and get it. He'll do it. Send out.
You didn't want to fail at that too?
I didn't want to fail at that because now I felt like I had this image of failure that I've had to keep going.
Yeah.
Let's just keep it going.
Yeah.
In my mind at this time, I'm knowing this is crazy.
You know it in your head.
Yeah, this is crazy. This one right here is this could go bad, And but oh well, let's go with it. You know what I'm saying? Like It was a tool set. My mind was a tool set of criminology, of how to go be a criminal one night, get sober the next day, go find a job the next day, work that job for 2 weeks, fail at that, guess what? Backtrack all the way to go, let's go get the sack, let's go get high, let's go rob, let's go do this. And it's over and over and over and over again. To the normal mind, it seems crazy. And I have to agree, it's very crazy.
Yeah.
But at this time in my life, and maybe this atmosphere I was at, the upbringing I brought, it was all so normal.
It made sense.
I was just the best failure of my time.
Mm-hmm.
Other kids wish they could fail like me.
Yeah.
They wish they had, time under their belt like I did. And,
just do whatever you want to do.
Just do whatever they wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Say whatever. I was just say whatever I wanted to say, do what I wanted to do. And if you didn't like it, well, you know what you had to do with me.
Right.
And
they didn't know that you was being tormented. They didn't know.
They didn't know that, man. They thought this was just like, this is, let's just say badass Jay,
Yeah.
And in a sense of, I was, but everything that I had learned to start loving and actually love, because I don't care who you are in life, you're gonna eventually need something to love you and you love back.
That's right.
Because loneliness is probably one of the worst things I've ever experienced. It's right there around drug addiction, failure, and the rest of it.
Yeah.
So the loneliness thing, it just started getting to me, Joe. And every time I get out, just the disappointment in people's faces. Because they're seeing that there's a great man under all of this chaos. They're seeing it. They'll see it. They'll say it. They'll be like, Jay, what you doing, man? You got the energy. You got the mobility, the mechanics to be
I see around here.
To be a real great man and be a great leader. And I was like, that's blasphemy. Who are you to? You don't know who I am, man. I'm rolling with the devil. I'm doing devil stuff.
Yeah.
Not no satanic worship, but just like, I understood the playing field I was at. It was madness. And to have any role in that, you got to have madness.
So even when somebody was trying to encourage you, you didn't want to hear that?
No, I thought those people was, on some funny stuff. I was like, man, these people, who are these people, man? Like, are you a CI? Are you the police?
Suspicious.
Yeah, I was like, man, who are you to try to alter my way of living and stuff? And, the knowing of right and wrong, it was there, but for so many years, choosing wrong just felt better. And if Joe, if I was to even go into a fight, knowing that I could have avoided the fight, or been the bigger person, I would prepare myself for this failure. I was like, okay, this is gonna land me in the hole. or this is gonna send me to jail. I'll do this time, this time, this time. This will be added to my record. I would put all this together in my mind and fabricate this failure and go with it and go with the move and be okay with it.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, well, that's what I do. That's what I do. That's who I am.
Yeah.
And it started getting really, really real on this bid here, Joe. This bid here has, I'll just say it saved my life in so many ways because...
What's different about this one?
With this one, I've met so many people that really pulled the best out of me by mentoring me, by believing in me, Joe. People believe in me here more than people believe on me on the streets. And I'm terrified about that because I'll tell you why later on.
Okay.
We'll get into that in a minute. Okay. But by these folks believing in me here, Joe, it's taught me something about myself and who I can be as a man and play a leadership role in life. And so, you know, some of these guys in here, they've held me to the fire. They've seen me hit every wall in here, and then for the longest, you know for yourself, Joe.
Yeah, accountability.
Yeah, they know me here. They know, they've seen my worst, and the guys would just say like, have you had enough? Are you done?
Yeah,
like, come on, let's get it together.
Yeah.
And these are people that matter to me because I see them. They OGs in the game. They're men of morals and purpose, and you know that meant something to me because my own people don't see that in me. You know, I got people right now, Joe, that's done backed all the way up from me. I'm getting close to going home, and I think they're scared to even deal with me. There for a while they was riding with me. Yeah, we love you, Unc. Yeah, we love you. Can't wait till you get out. But now everybody's gone, and to me, I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Like, y'all gonna leave me while I'm all the way up? Like I'm living my best life.
Right.
Even though I'm here.
Right, but you
but my mind.
Yeah, you're a different person.
I'm a different person.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, it's a shame on them because they ain't gonna get to experience the next book of my life.
Yes, another chapter.
Yeah. Exactly. So, you know, I feel bad that they ain't gonna get to experience this because we going up. Man, so far up. But so yeah, I just this time right here, Joe, like you were saying, what makes this different? It's just this time here, I had a guy tell me not too long ago, maybe 3 years ago, I was still kind of, you know, dibbling and dabbling with things and hustling and you know, just breaking policy and doing things that just wasn't right. I wasn't the worst criminal I ever been, but I wasn't by far.
Still playing on the edge.
Still playing on the edge. Yeah. Playing cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Well, a guy told me, he said, Lil J, when you gonna step up and start showing leadership roles? Like start showing leadership skills.
That's right.
And I've never had that presented to me like that, Joe. Because I was like, man, I never knew I'd never seen me as a leader. I've never known me to like, what would a leadership role be for me?
What that look like?
What's that look like? And man, it almost floored me, Joe, when the man told me that. Because this is a brother that's done been down. I can't remember his name right off the rip, but I know you're going to know him. He paroled out on a life sentence. He came from another facility. So I know you know him. I'll get back with his name. So when he told me this, and I didn't know this guy too well. He just knew about where I came from. He knew the area. He knew the lifestyle I lived. And he seen something in me, Joe. And he believed in me. And that's what made this time so much more different, man. Because people in this joint and in a lot of institutions throughout the world, they believe. And a lot of people out there in them town, they don't believe.
No.
They've lost faith. They've lost hope. They lost any kind of purpose that they may have. Yeah, they'll go to work. They do the 9 to 5, this, that. But their belief in their purpose is zip.
It's zip. Now look, we're gonna stop right there. We're gonna come back. We're gonna come back if you don't mind.
Yeah.
And because I want to talk about that, how people that we're about to go home to don't believe in us and how that affects us and what you're going to do about it. Because you can't change the way they see it right now. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to come back. Is that okay with you?
That's fine with me.
All right. This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I said peace, y'all.
I'm getting